hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Kiara Desiree, and I'm so happy that you're here on my channel today. I'm so happy that you're here. Girl, I'm happy. And I hope you are. And I hope your day has been wonderful. I hope that today has been a blessing to you. I hope that you rested up for the week. I hope that you got some things done that's been on your list and you've been trying to get done. Listen, I know all about that. Listen, why don't you do me a favor? And why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit that bell? And you know what that bell is going to help you? You know what that bell is there for? It is so you can be notified on every video that I post. Um, like I said, I post motivational things all the time. Listen, I hope that you can be able to be, I hope that you are blessed by every single video. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to be notified. So when I post a video, you'll know exactly when, and boom, you can watch it from there. Okay. Today's video, okay, it's going to be about something that I think that we all can relate to. It's just our maturity, our growth. And I think that we don't give ourselves enough credit of how far we've come, how far we have grown. And I think that sometimes we think that the little steps don't matter, but guess what? They matter. They definitely matter. I don't care how small of a step you have taken, what accomplishment you think it was so small, it's still part of your process. Point blank, period. It's still part of your process. And so I was thinking about my growth. Okay. My growth. And I was just thinking of the things that God has blessed me with, the things I've seen, the things I prayed for, the things that I'm like, wow. And I thought to myself, I said, self, if those opportunities had presented themselves at a moment in a time of my life where I was not that mature to handle it, how would that have turned out? And that's something I want to ask you. I know that you've grown so much. And I don't know who's watching this video, okay? But I'm going to talk to you like we've been girlfriends for a while, okay? Do you mind? Okay, let's pretend for a little minute. And let's just say, you've had an opportunity. And let's just say it presented itself when you was not ready for that opportunity. Would you have kept those things? How would those things turn out? And I think that a lot of times we rush a lot of stuff in our lives because we feel like we're ready, but really we didn't know the big task, the task that was at hand, and didn't know it took a lot more maturity. And after we have matured, we kind of look back and like, yeah, I was not ready. And for me personally, I looked at those things myself in my own life, and I look at myself and say, yeah, I was not ready for that one. But I'm glad I am now. I am glad that I am now. So I just want to share a few points with you guys. If you are a note taker, there's not that much notes to take. I'm going to put the notes in the description. That way you can take a look and maybe you can copy and paste, take a screenshot or whatever. But I always post notes. Anytime that I post a video, I always post the notes in the description just so you can kind of get an outline of what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to read a few points to you guys. And I think I've already said it, but I'm going to probably have to repeat it. Your mindset is different. You have to realize that, girl, your mindset is totally different from who you were 5 years ago. And like I said, with myself, I looked at myself and I'm like, I'm not the same woman I was 5 years ago. And it's crazy because you know how life just speed past us, and we're like, dang. You kind of, I don't know if you guys ever had that moment where you're like, oh my goodness. And then you look back and you're like, wow, the things that would used to bother me doesn't bother me anymore. The things I would normally confront a person about, I don't even confront them about it anymore because you're in a different mindset. Even the opportunities that come about, when you first start something, you jump at every single opportunity. But now since you're older, and you're more wiser, you look at every opportunity and you look deeper into that opportunity, and you use your wisdom in that opportunity. Like, okay, should I take it? Should I? What is this? What is that? You look at you breaking it apart. Versus if we were younger, it would be a more situation of, I don't care, I'm gonna take it. It's an opportunity. But a lot of opportunities are good, and some opportunities are not as good. But I'm talking about the good opportunities. Acknowledge that the fact that your mindset is totally different. Okay, your mindset is not like it used to be. Okay, and that's a good thing. We all mature. We all desire to grow. We all desire to mature in some way, and so pat yourself on the back. I don't know if you've seen I think it was my last video. Yeah, it was talking about how to improve your self confidence, and one of the very last point I talked about was your accomplishments. It was talking about how to reward yourself. Give yourself credit when you have accomplished something. Every accomplishment deserves a celebration. And this is exactly what I mean. Your mindset has changed. That deserves a celebration. Now, don't try to be going to tell some, you ever said celebrate everything? Which I kind of did, because I want you to celebrate. This is the point. I want you to be able to celebrate yourself, because I feel like once you celebrate yourself, you enjoy life even much more. So celebrate yourself. Ask yourself, if the same opportunities are presented, that are presented now, would I be able to handle it? So a lot of stuff that we do, that we did in the past, will we be able to handle what opportunity comes about for us now? So say if someone presented you with an opportunity now, and it's a good opportunity, everything is great, would you be able to handle it? And a lot of us, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of us are rushing, and a lot of us are trying to figure things out. And I get it. We all are. But at the same time, sometimes God will not present us with things because we're just simply not ready. I believe that God wants us to be able to keep the things that He gives us because we can take care of them. But if our mindset is not there, sis, we got a little growing to do. And it's okay. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to be embarrassed about if you have a little bit more maturing to do. And I applaud you for wanting to be a better woman. I applaud you for wanting to have that better for yourself, because we all desire the same thing. And I also want to say this, that if you desire to grow in a certain area, surround yourself around women who are mature and who can teach you. And you have to be teachable now. You have to humble yourself. But surround yourself around people who's willing to say, you know what, I'm going to teach you. And just sit under them. Just learn. Because I have to humble myself. Even when I feel like, well, I'm good in that area. I don't need help. We all need some type of help. We all have to drop our pride. We all have to say, you know what, I'm going to humble myself. And I'm going to sit under somebody so I can learn, so I can be a better me. Sometimes being a better you is not going to always feel good. Sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes it's going to feel like somebody is literally pinching you. But sometimes it's worth it, because when you sit up under somebody and you're learning and they're teaching you and you're taking notes, you come out a better person. So just wanted to say that, because a lot of us, we think that because we know we have knowledge in certain areas that we may not need any help in other areas, but we're not perfect. We are human beings. Don't forget that you are a human being and you still have growing to do. So would you be able to handle a situation if it came about? And this is how you know that you have grown in the area, because if you look back in your life and you're like, dang, I would have jacked that up. Because I sure did. I sure looked at myself like, yeah, girl, you would have messed that up. And sometimes at the moment you're like, Lord, I just want to flourish. And at that moment, you're not understanding that in some areas you gotta grow. You got some growing to do. But at the moment, at the time, we don't see it. But then when we grow, when we start learning and we start allowing people to teach us, when we start growing, our eyes kind of open differently, and we're like, wow, that I look at that differently. So always ask yourself, because I know that it's hard sometimes, especially this, YouTube and, trying to reach um, a certain crowd, and sometimes it seems like it's not really working. I want to say that stay consistent. You can't give up the moment it does not happen for you. It's not going to happen overnight. But your story, all of our stories are different. Your story is totally different from that next person. So never base your story off of somebody else, because you don't know how long they grinded. You don't know all the trials and tribulations they had to go through to even get to that point. So I just want to say that to you, that when opportunities do present themselves, never look at a person and somebody else's success as though they don't deserve it, because we really don't know what they've been through to even get to that point. We don't know how much growing they had to do. We don't know how much of anything they had to do to even get to where they were. So always ask yourself that. Would you be able to handle that situation? And then would I be mature enough to take care of it? Sometimes opportunities present itself, and you want to be able to allow whatever is in front of you to last, and you want to be able to take care of it. You get a new house, you want to be able to make sure it's clean. You get a new car, you want to make sure it's clean, or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you take care of it, so it can have longevity, right? So being mature enough to take care of it, your mindset is totally different. The cost it takes to take care of something. The long run, the benefits of taking care of something, versus your younger self, your more immature self. You don't know the cost it was at stake at keeping up with something. I always tell my son this. I say, you got to keep your room clean, because when you can take care of that, you can move on to something else, because you already have mastered one thing of continue to keep your room clean. Okay, now it's time to move on to something else. That's us as being adults too. It's the same principle. Once you can take care of something else, and you're consistent with it, God will bless you with something else. You're consistent with that, and God will bless you with something else. It's all about the maturity. That's the growth. And that's like the circle of growth. Once I take care of that, I get this and get that and that. And I just think that as an adult, we have to be more cautious about when we have things in our lives, because we have to learn how to take care of those things. It's important. It's very important, especially if you go to work every day. If you go to work every day and you're paying the bills, you know exactly what I mean. You know exactly how to take care of something, because you got to get up every single day to go to work to keep everything on. Okay, so it's important that we know that our growth, how much we've grown. It's important to know that our growth matters to us. It's important to know that we need to learn how to celebrate our growth, because our growth is important. And I just want to say that continue to keep growing. You are doing amazing. Don't let nobody stop you from growing. Like I said, those little steps are becoming bigger steps and bigger steps. Celebrate where you are right now. Don't wait until you get big and famous, okay? Listen, celebrate now. So I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to my video. Listen, you already know. Hit that bell to be notified. Subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified. That way you are notified on every single video that I post. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Continue to be the best woman that you know how to be. Just continue to flourish, girl. Have an amazing day.